Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Success Masters. It's been very interesting this past year. I'm sure you all know that. And when you ask, it's given, and we all had a big asking, and Hal created this at some point in the answering. So Hal's Success Masters was just what I ordered from the universe. When I joined Success Toastmasters, I felt a bit isolated and I wanted to interact with people in a mastermind. I also wanted to be a better speaker. I've had other speaker training, including the awesome Brendan Bashar's 3-day training in San Francisco, the world's greatest speaker training. I highly recommend it, but I'll tell you at the end why it's these things have not quite got me there and why Toastmasters has. I also had Bo Easton's personal story power training, Roger Love's The Voice of Success training at the Grammy Museum for 3 days in the conference room. That was amazing. They're all more intellectual and they help you get there. It's kind of like Tony Robbins, rah, 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 but it just didn't, people can tell you, go out and do local talks, go do this, go do that. But if you don't practice it, your subconscious stuff comes up and stops you. And that's what happened to me. So I've had all this great training, but it didn't get me there. I had heard of Toastmasters for many years. I looked at them in Ashland and I heard about them in Hawaii and other places. And every time I met the people, they seemed kind of old and boring, I guess is the word. I told them that when I joined too, to redo their site, and they've been redoing because it was too corporate and cold, I guess, is the energy for me. And I think that this whole thing has really helped us all just love each other more and appreciate each other more without having to put this false front up. Oh, I got a suit and a tie on and I'm this person, right? Like we're more real. I really think it's helped us all move forward so much more. And so when Hal created his online version, I knew this is what I wanted. And I was expecting him to charge a lot for it. But he didn't charge anything. It's just a regular price. His was one of the first Toastmasters entirely virtual clubs. And when he offered it, I jumped in as a founding member in April 2020. I have always had a bit of trepidation about speaking in public because I'm so sensitive. And what I feel what people are thinking and projecting, especially judgments, they hit me in different places and I can feel where they hit me and then I have to clear them. And I'm a lot more transparent now. This helps us get more transparent because we're in a family of love, and that helps everybody be more confident. It's also helped me change by being not so sensitive to things and not taking things so seriously. Like the first time people counted my ahs and ums, I had to process that a little bit. So yeah, and now I'm like, oh well, yeah, it's getting better. So you just keep moving forward, and you learn to relax and share. So even if I was a bit nervous at first, I soon learned that the judgments here are coming from a positive place in order to help us all move forward, and we're all helping each other. And I also had some of those blocks with I'll do it myself, right? And so I've had to clear those and go, well, if I want to make films and stuff, dang, it's one of the most collaborative mediums there is. You got to have other people with you. You got to be able to listen to them and help each other and bring in their wonderful concepts because they'll help you level the whole thing up. When I was in Waterworld, that was one of the most amazing things for me is they flew like 40 trailers into Hawaii, or they shipped them in on a boat, and they put these big 40-foot trailers down on a lava coast. There was nothing there. And each one was so professional because I had my own advertising publishing firm for years. And it was just the professionalness of everybody. Like one was all costumes and one was all parts like you get at Ace Hardware because is. And so I have had to learn to work together with people and not power my way through, which I was really good at getting things done. So when I started out with, as most of the, I think I was probably the one that did more ums and you knows than anybody except for maybe Hal. But he's better at that. And with the help of this wonderful group, I've learned to pause. So if I can't get it, I just pause. In fact, Bo Easton, he teaches, you go over on the stage and you walk across and you get your water and you drink quietly. And the whole audience looks at you and they think you're smart because you're pausing. So if you lose your thought, you do that. And so it's so much more fun when you understand the concepts and you don't have that fear coming up, right? So I learned how to organize my thoughts into speeches, enjoy practicing my speeches and how to time them and just let go and flow. Toastmasters have given me permission to use my hands. Before I was self-conscious about that because when I'm running energy, I'm using my hands. In fact, I can run energy on the whole group and people can feel it. And so I kind of had to keep it a little bit contained in new audiences because they're not used to that kind of thing. And I don't want to take them beyond their capacity. So I now have permission to use my hands, but I also still understand the capacity of the audience and keeping things within the limitations of their conscious understanding. And that's another thing you learn in speaking, who's your audience and who are you speaking to. So it's just another level of that. And I'm not self-conscious about using my hands anymore. As for working within the group, I've learned how to stay positive and give positive, helpful feedback, how to step forward for assignments, even if I don't feel like it, how to appreciate every opportunity for growth, and so much more. And I love the beautiful speeches and dreams we share with each other. We are all living wonderful lives, and we've all grown so much better in our speeches. We can all give ourselves a hand because we've done such a great job. This is just a wonderful thing, and we've all moved forward so much. I've met wonderful people from all over the world, which is one of the benefits of an online virtual group. And I feel that SuccessMasters, Toastmasters has helped me make the journey through COVID so much easier overall. It's kept my level high. And when you keep your level high, like I'm not in my pajamas today, you know, it gives you an excuse to dress up. It gives you an excuse to run the energy of, I'm moving forward, I'm okay. I have an audience, even though if you're at home, right? So and when you run a different energy, when you're dressed up, you run a different energy than when you're in your lounge clothes, and that energy projects to the universe, I want more of this. And so it really helps to do that. Most importantly, SuccessMasters has helped me become much more confident in my communication skills, including my writing and my speaking and my business. When you're more confident, you radiate the energy. I talked about that. And you bring up higher level opportunities back to you. I also feel like I got my mojo back because at the beginning of COVID, I kind of dropped my level and went in because it was a huge fear field that we were all being projected with. And there's group minefields. And so I dropped my level and it helped me get my mojo back to go forward again. And then also there was another one with turning 65 and stuff like that. There's this energy field of, oh, why don't you just give up and die? You're old. You know? And so you have to kind of work through that and go, heck, I'm starting a new business. You know, we can live forever. It's like, well, we do live forever, but in this body, we can live for a long time. So you just keep going back forward and understanding that some of those thoughts aren't yours. There's group fields. So during this last year, it helped me start my wonderful Visionary Entertainment Leaders Conference. And I'm not shy about contacting new speakers for my events. This has also helped me elevate to a new status in the minds as a speaker and a host. And now I get more invites to speak at other people's events, and I'm not shy to accept them. Before, I had some hesitation as I turned many of them down, including TV interviews. I did accept one. I was a World Psychics. I was interviewed for Trading Places TV show, but we weren't weird enough. So and they had to fly to Hawaii, so it didn't quite fit in their budget, I don't think. So, but a lot of them I've turned down because I just wasn't ready. I couldn't get in front of an audience. I had too much fear about public speaking. And so this has helped me say yes to all these opportunities that are coming to me. As for my projects and screenplays, now I have the confidence to reach out to producers and with my projects and my points of view, which, you know, they're kind of out there. And I feel worthy of these connections. Producing your show is a collaborative event where you have to hold a level of authority over your project, especially mine, because I'm not going to let it get just off into the studio system with no control. I'm going to control it. And so you have to hold this authority, but I'll be open to receive excellent input from other creatives. And so SuccessMasters has helped me learn it's not personal, and be open to constructive input and new ideas. This helps everyone move forward. It has also helped me tune into a more refined level of my guidance and knowing as the authority of my creations, and hold the boundaries for what feels right for me without confusion, without, oh, but they know better. Oh, but they know better, right? Oh, that's the confusion that comes in. And when you're aligned with, this is my project, this is what's happening with it, you don't get that. You just hold your authority. SuccessMasters has also taught me that doing, and this is what it's so much better than, even though I would go to all those events again, they're great, but the doing is a much more effective way of learning than just studying. So just hearing speakers and studying, you got to do it. And SuccessMasters every week, the repetition and getting us out there is just brought us all forward in wonderful ways. And by having us all do our speeches in public, at least on Zoom for now, we get through those resistances and fears that have been holding us back for years. I mean, really, many years. And we make wonderful progress in a very short time. Toastmasters creates real growth through experience in a safe setting for people to learn and grow, and I'm very grateful for that. I would recommend it to anyone who asks. It is one of the best values in training that I have ever experienced, especially when combined with Hal's Pro Group, because you're all professionals and you're all good writers, and that really takes Toastmasters over the top for me. This is a President's Distinguished Group, the highest award in Toastmasters for a group. So everybody, yeah, give yourselves a hand, but you got to keep it going. And the way you keep it going, I put a lot of time and effort in the last year as VP of publicity, and I'm moving and stuff. I don't have time this year to do that. So every week you've got to keep that going, get new people in and train them and move them forward to keep this as a President's Distinguished Group. And because it's based on, if you go online, you can see it's based on how many people complete each level of training. So SuccessMasters has shown me a successful way to model and conduct my teaching in my mastermind groups, which is much easier for me to offer now that I've had this training, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.